up, my self-stars? This your girl again, back again with another video today. My name is Monica, aka Dreamy Rose. I didn't introduce my Facebook and Instagram name. Well, yes I did yesterday. I told y'all that my Facebook is monica.smith. Follow me up there. Also Instagram, Dreamy Rose. On Instagram. So today I'm back again with another video for y'all. We're gonna get glam today. So today I'm gonna start this video off a little different. We're gonna do something a little different. Now yesterday I was doing my hair and my makeup. I did my makeup first and then I showed y'all in the end how I did my hair, how I unrolled my hair. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do the edges. I'm going to start with my edges first, let them dry, and then we're going to start with the makeup. Now today's look, I'm going for like a smoky kind of look, smoky eye kind of look, if you will. I'm going to show y'all all the materials that I'm using. Some of the materials that I used was some products that I used from yesterday as far as my brushes and things. But today, I'm going to show you guys some different palettes that I have. So let's get started. Before we get started, I want to show y'all my earrings. I love a big hoop, kind of like that Mary J. Blige kind of feel. And then I got my heart going on today. This kind of reminds me of the heart that's on Love and Hip Hop, because that's one of my favorite shows, even though they keep a lot of drama and things going. But without further ado, I'm not going to keep y'all too long. Let's get started, ladies. So for today, the product that I'm going to use for my edges, which is my Garnier Fructis style, my styling gel, and this is very good for your edges. It actually holds your edges in place, and you know, it smells really good. So the scent is kind of undescribable, but it really smells good, and you can get this at your local beauty supply store. I think I paid maybe like $5 or $6 or something like that for this. And then today I'm going to also show you guys my brush slash comb that I'm going to use. It's called Red by Kiss, if you guys can see that. And this is actually my good comb and brush for your edges. This is really good because I've been looking for one of these for the longest. I used to use the old-fashioned toothbrush kind of method, but I got tired of doing that. So we're going to do something a little different today, ladies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started with my edges. Now, as you can see, my edges aren't done, but don't worry, ladies, because I'm going to slay that. So what we're going to do is first we're going to take a little bit of the gel, apply it to your brush, if you will, if you can see that. First, I'm going to comb it out a little bit just to kind of get the edges going where I want them to go. Now, my edges, some of them a little thick, some of them a little thin. But, ladies, not to worry. If your edges is a little bit thinner, you could just take as much hair as you need. But for me, I like my edges to be on fleek. So, what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of take a little bit of hair, kind of go like in a little circular motion, and kind of just bring them out. Now, if it's too much hair, you could kind of push a little bit of hair back so it won't be so much. But for me, I kind of like that little dramatic extra look. So I'm just going to take it and just brush along. So I didn't do this yesterday. That's one of the things I didn't get a chance to do. I didn't really get a chance to slay my edges as much as I would like. But that's okay. We're going to get glam today. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go in and kind of just brush along until I get my edges going and flowing the way I would like. I like my edges a little bit thicker than most, but that's okay. If you like your edges a little bit thinner, you kind of just, you know, go into the design that you want to do. That's perfectly fine. So that's just me. I kind of like my edges a little bit thicker, but that's okay because my weave is going to cover it anyway. So it doesn't even matter, but I just had to slay my edges really, really quick because I didn't get a chance to do this part yesterday. So we're just going to start with the edges first. Then in the end, we'll get to the hair part and we'll show you guys how that gets done. Okay. So this is just the edges part. So like I said, everyone, you know, does their edges a little different. For me, I kind of like my edges to be slayed first before I can do anything else. And I kind of like that chilly TLC kind of look when she used to do her edges. Like, she really used to slay her edges. So I kind of want that kind of look for my edges. And you just kind of just go in and just brush it. Get it to where you want it. And like I said, I kind of like my edges a little bit more thicker and a little bit more dramatic than most. But that's fine. You know, everybody's different. Everybody like to, you know, do their stuff a little different, you know, in your own way. So let me just go back in and kind of just, you know, brush it down, kind of move that out the way. And like I said, your edges, you know, you want your edges to be perfect. But sometimes they're not going to always be perfect. But that's completely fine. Don't overwhelm yourself. And that's it. So, like I said, again, this is the Garnier Fructis. This is the Styling Gel, Pure Clean. And as you can see, I had this for quite some time. I had this about 2 years. About 2-3 years. So, this kind of lasted me because I didn't use it every single day. But the edges are done. So, now we're going to get into the glam part. Now, like I said, I showed you guys my brushes yesterday that I used. Today, I'm using, again, my e.l.f. powder brush. I don't use this for powder. I actually use this for my foundation. I'm just going to run through really quick. I'm going to also show you guys again. This is my Posh brush that I actually got from Kmart. This is like a dual brush. You can use both sides. And I mainly use it for my blush needs. I also, once again, I have my other dual brush, which is the foundation and conceal brush. If you guys can see that, this is the part where you conceal the eyebrows. You can use that, or you can use it for eyeshadow. And this you can kind of use for your concealer needs, which is the best. I also have, again, my spoolie by RX by Kiss. This is actually the eyebrow part where you're concealing your eyebrows. And this is a spoolie part that you need for your eyebrows when you're brushing and combing them. Also, I'm going to also show you guys my crease brush once again. This is a good brush. You can pretty much use this for, you know, your blush needs. Or you could kind of just use this for your eyeshadow. I normally use this brush for eyeshadow. And then I also have another eyeshadow brush that I really like to use. And this is by e.l.f. if you guys can see it. Alright, so let's get started, Glam Gems. So the first thing I'm going to start with today, I'm going to show you guys a different foundation that I'm going to use today. This is actually my Lock It foundation. This is really good for like covering up tattoos. As you can see, I do have quite a bit of tattoos. Now, I actually used this before to cover up my tattoos and it did the job. But you can also use this as a great foundation. And I actually got this from Sephora. If you guys can see it, this actually cost me about maybe $45, but it's worth it. Trust me when I tell you, ladies. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our brush. We're going to use just a little bit of concealer. Just a little bit of foundation. I'm sorry. As you can see, you don't need a lot. So you kind of just want to dab it all over your face. And then you get started. And like I said before, as I mentioned yesterday in my previous video, you always want to start with a fresh, wash, clean face. I actually washed my face after I got out the shower. So I already gave you guys the rundown about the lotion that I use to moisturize my face. So no need to go back and do it again. And like I said, with this foundation, you really don't need a lot because a little bit really literally goes a long way. Oh yeah, and I did forget to mention, this is in the color 71 Deep Warm. Deep 71 Warm, if you guys can see that. I'm more of a like a caramel complexion, but for my ladies that's, you know, of a little bit darker complexion or lighter complexion, you can pretty much go to Sephora and kind of test the different foundations on your hand to see which foundation will match your skin tone perfectly. Okay? So now we just kind of going in, and like I said, don't be afraid to get it on your neck, because that's kind of what you want. You want all the colors to blend, and you want everything to kind of blend out perfectly. All right, so we're going in. All right, so this is the first part of it. Do your foundation. Now, like I said, today we're kind of going for a smoky eye look. So my next product that I'm going to show you guys that I'm going to use, I'm going to also take, this is, once again, this is my e.l.f. blush palette that I actually showed you guys yesterday. Excuse me. And I'm going to also show you guys one of my favorite colors to use. And that's this one here with the glitter. It's one of my favorites because it's not too light. It's not too dark, but you know what? Then again, I'm going to switch it up today. I'm actually going to use this color. I'm going to kind of go with the brighter pink, not too much, just a little bit, because like I said, little bit always goes a long, long, long way. You got to do the little fish face when you're doing this, ladies, because it actually helps you, and it helps, you know, when you're applying it, it makes it a little bit easier instead of just doing the smile with the whole high, because I got high cheekbones, so I'm just letting you know that now. All right, so the next product that I'm going to show you guys, now I didn't show you guys this product yesterday, but this is my Kiss Professional Pro Primer, magnifying primer. I'm sorry. This is my magnifying primer. Now I'm going to use this for my eyelids, because now I'm going to get started on my eyelids. Now yesterday I did use the concealer, which is good because you can use that as well. But this kind of helps me prep my eyelids for when I put my eyeshadow on. And like I said, you don't need a lot. You just need really, like, literally a little bit. And then I'm going to take my conceal brush, as you can see. And I'm just going to whip that around in there. Not too much, not too little. Just enough. So when I do add my eyeshadow, it'll stick better. And it'll actually help last long throughout the day. Alright, so we did that part. So now I'm going to take my crease brush, which is also the brush that I use for my eyeshadow. Now, like I mentioned, I'm going for a smoky eye look today. So I'm going to actually use this palette, which is my 32 Colors by Nicka K I. I'm sorry, this palette is really old. It did break, so I'm not really too worried about it. It's been in my collection like forever. And I'm going to use this black color here, as you can see. And I'm going to start off with a little bit of black. Well, you know what? I'm going to switch my brush. I'm actually going to use the other one. So what you want to do is when you take it, you would just want to add a little bit, not too much. And you kind of just want to go in and just go in a little bit. Okay, so you see how I got that? I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot because you don't want your smoky look to be too dramatic. You want it just enough to where it's going to be even on both sides. So now I got the black eyeshadow going. And you just, like I said, I mentioned before, you just want to take a rag, any type of rag, and just kind of wipe it off because you're going to need to use this once again. Now, the next color that I'm going to use, this is going to be more like that Nipsey blue, which is like this one here. Well, actually this one, because this one has a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to use this color here. And I'm just going to go in and just kind of give it a whiff. Not too much. And we're going to do a different color on the top. So you just want to go in. Oops, I went a little too far over. But that's okay, not to worry. We're going to go in. And you want to add a little more just to make it a little darker. You could just go in like so and just add it. And then we're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. You're going to go in and just kind of give it a whiff of that. And that's pretty much it. So I just want to add a little bit more just to kind of give it that smoky dark look that I'm going for. Now, what you want to do is you can take your rag easily. If you get a little bit of eyeshadow on that side, that's perfectly fine. You can just go in and then just take your brush where you applied your foundation with and just go back in and just kind of tweak it and fix it up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe my brush off. And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to reapply the black color. Because you still want that smoky, dramatic look. But you want it to be even on both sides. So now that you have that, now that you've done the two parts that you needed with the black and also the blue, now we're going to go for a more natural look at the top because you want it to look as natural as possible. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this copper color. This is also my 32 colors palette by Nicka K. You can get this at your local beauty supply store. I paid about $6 for this. And this is a 32 different color palette with the different vibrant colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color here, which is more like a copper. And I'm going to apply that to the top. And you kind of just want to blow it off. And then you just want to go in and go over the top. And just go in, take your time. You don't have to rush to do this, ladies, as I mentioned before. But you want it to come out just as even. And you just want to go over and a little bit under. Okay, so now that that's completed, now what you want to do is, for the fun part, you want to get started on your eyebrows. So now this is the next part that we're going to do. Alright, and if you want to give it just a little bit more flavor, I'm going to add this orange color here, which is like a light tangerine. And kind of just give it like a little pop. Kind of just give it like a little pop of color. And if you want to go a little dramatic, you can add the dark orange, which I'm going to use because it's going to give it even more of a flavor, intense flavor, once I apply it. So now that that's applied, now you see how even more vibrant my colors look. And it looks even more fantastic. Okay? So now that that's done, now for the fun part, we're going to get started on the eyebrows. Sorry guys, someone was calling me. It's a New York number. I don't know, because you know you get a lot of scam likely calls nowadays. And they call more than regular bill collectors, trust me. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you guys my pomade. The same thing I showed you yesterday, my chocolate brown pomade. I'm going to use this. And I actually have a little brush that I failed to mention yesterday. This is my little brush that came with the pomade. This is actually a set that you could get from your beauty supply store. And, you know, it's like maybe, I forget how much this was. I think it was like $6, $7 or something like that. So what you want to do is you want to go in. Remember how I taught you yesterday? You go in, draw your line, and take your time. And go in again, use a little bit more, just as much as you need, and just go in and fill her in. Like I said, ladies, take your time. You do not need to rush when doing your eyebrows, because you want them to come out just as good as they need to. You can kind of just draw the line a little bit more, make it a little bit more dramatic and not too much. So now we're going to do the next eyebrow. Let me just close this palette up because I don't want it to get everywhere. Draw your line. Go in and take your time. Like I said, you don't have to rush. And if this video runs over, I'm going to have a part 2 because I'm using, like I said, I stated before, I'm using the camera off of my cell phone. I do not have a vlogging camera as of right now, but I'm going to invest in one when I get the money and I get the time too. Alright, so now that that's done, go a little over. So now that that's done, next thing you want to do, you want to close this up. And like I said before, this is my little brush that I got with my set. And this is a really cute set, so I love it so much. Alright, so now that that's done, fun time, concealer time. Again, this is my Maybelline Matte Conceal by Face Studio Camouflaging Concealer. And this is in the color 50 medium/deep. And you can also get this at your local beauty supply store. I forget where I might have got this from though. I don't think I got this from the beauty supply store. I think someone actually might have gave it to me as a gift, but that's okay too. So you're going to take it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to just take this and just add a little bit on my hand, if you can see that. You really don't need a lot, but like I said, if you want, you know, you just dip it just a little bit, and you just want to go in. And just go over it slowly but surely. Okay, and like I said, whatever whatever eyeshadow you messed up, that's completely fine. You can always go back in and just fix it. That's completely fine. Take your time, like I said, when you're doing your eyebrows, because you don't want to mess it up. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So that way it won't be double work when you got to go back and kind of fix it. Okay. And just go in. Alright. So now that that's done, that's the fun part that I mentioned. Now you want to take your brush, wipe it off, and just go back in. And just brush that concealer in.
So you're saying it's all about timing and player spacing?
Okay. So go in. Go on the other side. And if it even helps, you can even raise your eyebrows to kind of get that extra feel to it as you running your brush over the edge. Okay, just repeat the steps. Take your brush, angle it, and just go in. Just be careful as you're gliding your brush over your brow. And then, like I said, once you get enough concealer off, you can always go back in and just fix. Just fix it. Same thing on the opposite side. You go in. Take your time. You don't have to rush to do this, because your eyebrows is one of the most important parts of your makeup, ladies.
What do you think about the devils? Spend my time since I was 4. I mean, everyone knows we got the best garden to leave.
Alright, and just go on the opposite side and kind of just go up. But don't get too close with your brush. So now what you want to do, you want to take your other brush, your crease brush, and just kind of go over it. Go over it. Just wet it a little bit if you need to. And just go over it. Just glide it over. Glide it over. Take your time. And just glide it over. Opposite side, do the same thing. Repeat the same steps. Just take it and just glide over it. Just clean it up a little bit as you're going along. Take your angle brush, go back in. Alright. So now what you can do is you can take your brush, your foundation brush, and just kind of clean it up at every spot without messing up your brows. And just clean it. Okay, so now we're going to have to go back in with our brush that we was using before. Our eyebrow brush. I mean, not the eyebrow brush, I'm sorry. The eyeshadow brush, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. So now we're going to take the same color we was using before. The nice, pretty gold copper look. And we're going to go back in and just go over it. And you can kind of do this without messing up your brows. So you kind of see a little bit how much more easier that was. And then you kind of just want to do the opposite side. Go back in And just tweak the other side. Now, you see how I mentioned before, when you're doing your brows, wherever you messed up at, that's completely fine. Now, you see how I kind of messed up a little bit on my brow, but not to worry. I'm going to take a little bit of my pomade and just go in and just fix it. See? And how easy that is. Not too hard to fix it. You just want it to where it's not going to be uneven or anything. You could just always go back in and just fix it. Okay. So now that you have that out the way, now you want to take your brush, your crease brush, and just kind of go back in and just kind of inline where that foundation / concealer was. So you just go back in and just clean it up. And you just want to do the opposite side. Just clean it up so you really can't even tell that you actually had concealer sitting right there. Now we're going to do the next part, which is one of my favorite parts, the waterline. We're going to do the waterline. I'm going to use my Kiss Professional eyeliner pencil, liquid liner pencil, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to do my waterline. Careful not to get it in your eye, because it will get in your eye. Now, see how I just did that? Now it look a little too dramatic. So what you want to do is take your concealer, the little bit on your hand that you used, and kind of just go in. And just apply it.
On behalf of everyone at the Devil's Organization, welcome to our annual charity night.
Same for the opposite side. So like I said, I have dark circles. I don't like for my dark circles to show. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like for my dark circles to show. So I'm just going to go back in, dip a little bit more on my hand, if you can see that. And just go in with my brush and just kind of highlight the areas that I want to fix. And I don't want too much